Hi, welcome back to Amber Brown is Tickled Pink. The last time we saw Amber, her mom and Max had decided on having a small wedding at City Hall instead of a big fancy reception that Amber would prefer. Let's see if something changes on that front. Chapter 4. Mom and I have a deal. For every 5 papers I bring home that have an A, I can make a call to Justin. I'm not crazy about this deal. I would rather be able to call Justin every night. But I have to admit my grades have gotten better since it started. Now I catch in one of my make a call to Justin cards. Mrs. Daniels answers the phone. Hello, Amber. This is a nice surprise. She sounds happy to hear my voice. We talk for a little bit. Then she says, I can't wait to come up and see you this spring for the wedding. I wonder what she's going to think when she finds out there's not going to be a wedding party after all. I decide to let Mom deal with that. Oh, the baby's starting to cry. I'll get Justin. I know who you really want to talk to anyway. Justin gets on the phone. Justin, we have a problem, I say. You think you've got a problem? Try having a new baby in the house, he says. I felt bad. I was so upset about the wedding that I forgot I should ask about the baby first. Is she still a barf burger? That was what Justin called her the first week after she was born. He doesn't answer right away. Promise not to tell anyone? I promise. Not to tell what? I love having her in my lap. She mostly just sleeps and eats right now, but sometimes she grabs my finger and holds on tight. I don't like it much when Danny was born, but I was a little kid then. This is different. I have never heard Justin sound like this before. He keeps changing while I'm not looking. So what's the problem, he asks. Mom has decided to call off the big party and have a tiny wedding at City Hall instead. That's okay. I don't like big parties anyway. You don't understand. If we don't have a big wedding, even you won't be invited. I may not see you for a billion years. We won't get to do the chicken dance. Is that where you lay an egg? Yuck, yuck. Did you mean yolk, yolk? I snort. Stop, you're cracking me up. It feels good to laugh, but it doesn't solve the party problem. Justin just keeps telling me he's sure it will all work out. He has always had a hard time talking about problems. I can tell he wants to change the subject. He does. How's our chewing gum ball? When Justin and I were just kids, we started making a ball from our ABC already been chewed gum. It's the kind of thing our parents thought we'd get tired of doing, but we didn't. I got custody of it when he moved. He still sends gum support, his used chewing gum. He sticks the gum in a wet paper towel and then puts plastic wrap around it. When our letter comes, I always know if there's some gum support in it because the envelope is lumpy. Sometimes it's also slightly soggy. I keep the ball in my closet because my mother thinks it's gross and doesn't want to see it. I'm going to have to be careful that there's no let's throw out the chewing gum ball campaign when we move to the new house. I tell Justin that the ball is growing nicely, but he's behind on his gum support. After Justin and I say goodbye, I'm in a better mood, but not for long. I really, really miss him, and I really, really want him at the wedding. That's the end of chapter 4. Let's go on to chapter 5. Chapter 5. Okay, Amber, what's wrong? Brandy asks. She and Kelly have cornered me on the playground, or as we like to call it, the hang around and talk ground. What do you mean? I try to sound at least as if I have no idea what she's talking about. Kelly gives me a look. Oh, come on, Amber. Today is the day Frederick's father is coming to talk to us. Every other Monday, Mrs. Holt invites a parent to visit and tell us all about their lives. Some people have much more interesting lives than other people do. What's Frederick's father got to do with anything? Brandy rolls her eyes. Normally, you have made at least 3 nose-picking jokes by now. You haven't even made one. Clearly, something is bugging you. Actually, I had wondered if nose-picking ran in the Allen family, but Kelly and Brandy are right. I haven't even made that easy joke about noses running. I am too upset about the wedding. Last night, it was easy to say to myself that I, Amber Brown, will save the day. But the truth is, I don't have a clue about what to do. Well, Brandy waits for an answer. I sigh. Apparently the sighing epidemic lasts for more than 24 hours. I don't want to tell them what's going on, but I know that what my friends do, we tell each other when something is wrong. I take a deep breath. I try not to sigh. It's Mom and Max. They're not calling the wedding off, are they? Kelly asks. No, but they want to make it a lot smaller. Like downsizing? Brandy sounds worried. Brandy's father has been out of work for the last 2 months because his company let go of people to save money. They call it downsizing. None of us had heard that word before. Now we hate it. Real small, I answer, unless I can figure something out. Mom says a big wedding is too expensive, but I know Max still really wants one. I do too. I wish our $1 million project was real. I need a lot of money fast. You could get a job, Brandy suggested. Like what? Kelly giggles. You could be a glitter consultant. I could open a peanut butter and M&M sandwich shop. I know we are being silly, but it's making me feel better. Before we can think of more ways for me to make money, Mrs. Holt lines us up. Recess is over. It's time to meet Frederick's father. I wonder if he has a skunk farm, Brandy says. Remember when Frederick's brother put the skunk in the school at the beginning of the year? Now I giggle. That was the stinkiest school day ever. It was a good day to keep boogers in your nose so you couldn't smell anything. Kelly grins. She's back. Frederick's dad is tall and kind of good looking. Instead of a white shirt and tie like some dads have worn, he's wearing jeans and a sweatshirt. The sweatshirt says Camp Sukatucket in big blue letters. Mr. Allen turns out to be more interesting than I expected. He owns and runs a summer camp, which is on Sukatucket Pond. I never heard of it before, but I'm already thinking of funny camp songs using that name. Bobby Clifford waves his hand. Does that mean you only work in the summer? Mr. Allen laughs. Not hardly. Taking care of a place like Camp Sukatucket is a year-round job. There's always something that needs repairing or fixing. While his dad is talking, Frederick passes out brochures. I check mine to make sure it's booger-free before I open it. The place looks pretty nice. It's on the pond. Well, actually, it isn't on the pond because then it would be underwater, or at least heading that way. I think it's very strange the way people use words sometimes. Frederick and I work at the camp every weekend, Mr. Allen says. It's vacant in the winter, of course, but sometimes during spring and fall we rent it out for special events. There are two things I like about Mr. Allen. First, number one, he hasn't picked his nose even once, and number two, he just given me a great idea, and this one could work. Tune in next time to see what Amber's great idea is. Have a terrific day. Goodbye.